There is a strong secret in a world that seems to be run by chaos and noise most of the time, understood by the ancient Stoics, that can change the way you live your life. It's not in the noise of the crowd or the never-ending search for temporary joys. Stoicism teaches a beautiful, simple way to control your mind, which leads to peace and strength. Today, we're going to dig deeper into this deep philosophy to find out how the Stoic way of life can give you not only peace, but also clarity and strength that doesn't waver even when life is rough. Join me as we talk about how to use these timeless truths to get through life in the modern world, with the Stoics' knowledge guiding us every step of the way, whether you're trying to deal with daily stress or find more happiness by learning how to control your mind. Being Stoic isn't just about getting through life, it's also about living in it. We're going to talk about some really cool stuff today. If you like what we're talking about, please hit the subscribe button. You won't want to miss a single part of this trip. One of the most freeing ideas in Stoicism is based on a simple but deep thought. Being in charge of our own deeds, feelings, and thoughts is the only thing we can really change. This principle tells us to let go of the heavy weight of other people's ideas. Today, we'll talk about why letting go of what other people think isn't just freeing, it's a smart way to take control of your own mind. How often have you changed your mind about something, put off starting a new project, or even changed how you looked because of what you thought other people would say or think? This is a common mistake that can make people live their lives based on what other people think instead of what they believe in themselves. Stoicism teaches us to change our focus by guiding our actions and thoughts in line with our own values. This makes our minds stronger against the chaos of other people's opinions. Marcus Aurelius was a Roman ruler and Stoic philosopher who said the famous thing, "You control your mind, not what happens in the outside world. Realize this, and you will find power." His words tell us to pay attention to how we think instead of trying to control things that we can't change. This doesn't mean we stop caring about other people. It just means we put our own judgment and peace of mind ahead of what other people think. This way of thinking doesn't tell us to ignore all feedback. Instead, it gives us the power to decide which feedback is helpful and in line with our bigger goals and which is just noise. It means growing a garden inside you where the seeds of your thoughts are cared for by your own values and beliefs instead of being stomped on by other people's opinions. Picture being able to make decisions without worrying about what other people will think or trying to get their approval. You start to live more honestly and based on what matters to you. As you practice this Stoic approach, you'll notice that not only does your need for outside approval fade, but your confidence and inner peace also grow. This isn't just about toughening up in the usual sense. It's about creating an inner landscape where your emotions serve you instead of controlling you. This is where Stoicism offers valuable insights. The Stoics didn't teach people how to hide their feelings. Instead, they taught people how to understand and control their feelings to improve their health and growth. Seneca, a philosopher, pushed the Stoic practice of seeing problems as opportunities. He said that every challenge or hardship was a chance to practice virtues like patience, courage, and temperance. By seeing our struggles as chances to grow stronger, we can change how we feel about them. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by them, we can face them with purpose and use them as a stepping stone to becoming more resilient. Keeping an optimistic view of things that are true is another important part of building mental strength. Epictetus said that our distress comes not from events, but from how we judge them. By changing our expectations and judgments to be more in line with reality, we can reduce unnecessary suffering. For example, if we accept that we can't control other people's actions, but can control our reactions to them, we're less likely to be upset by their behavior. Emotional resilience also means realizing that emotions are not commands. We don't have to act on our anger, hurt, or anxiety just because we feel those things. This space between how we feel and what we do is very important, because it gives us time to decide how to react. The Stoics called this the space, where we can use our minds and freedom to make ourselves stronger, emotionally, start doing daily reflections. At the end of each day, ask yourself what went well, what challenges you met, and how you dealt with them. Self-reflection strengthens your ability to use Stoic principles in everyday life, gradually building your resilience. Now think about how you can use them not just in emergencies, but as part of your daily routine. Emotional resilience doesn't happen overnight, but with consistent practice and a Stoic mindset, you'll be better prepared to handle whatever life throws at you, not just surviving your experiences, but thriving through them. Stoicism is based on the deep realization that we have no control over what happens to us, but we do have control over how we see and respond to these events. This is the true power of perception, realizing that our responses are not shaped by the events themselves, but by the meanings we give them. Imagine that you're stuck in traffic and running late for a very important meeting. You might see this as a disaster, which could make you angry and frustrated. You could also look at it as a chance to listen to your favorite podcast or audiobook, which would give you back your time and turn a stressful situation into a fun one. The Stoic practice of perception management is about picking the second option, which means choosing to see things in a way that is in line with your inner peace and wisdom. Herodotus, a famous Stoic philosopher, said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them." This quote sums up Stoic ideas about how we see things. It's a reminder that our peace of mind doesn't come from the things that happen in our lives, but from how we react to them. By training ourselves to see things in more positive ways, we gain a lot of control over our mental health. Mindfulness and self-awareness are the first steps in developing the skill. It involves paying attention to our unconscious thoughts and asking ourselves if they are true. Does this thought match up with reality? Is there a different way to look at this? This questioning and reframing technique is a type of cognitive restructuring that can have a big effect on how we feel. To use it in your daily life, start by noticing times when your first reaction might not be the best. Then, try changing the way you think about those times to see the situation in a new way. One easy way to do this is to see a criticism at work not as an attack on your skills, but as useful feedback that can help you grow as a person and as a worker. You can't trick yourself or ignore reality with the power of perception. Instead, it's about changing our lens so that we can see life more clearly and react to it in ways that are in line with our core values. By using this Stoic method, you not only make yourself stronger, but you also make it easier to be happy and satisfied. It's a process that changes everyday problems into chances to learn more about yourself and grow. This is more than just going on more hikes or planting a garden, though those are great ways to connect with nature. It's about understanding and following the natural laws that govern human behavior and the universe. The Stoics believed that everything in the universe, including humans, has a purpose that is set by nature itself. For us, this means living a good life in line with reason, which they thought was the highest function of our nature. Julius Caesar. In his personal writings, he talked a lot about how nature is connected. He saw each person's actions as part of a bigger symphony of the world, and he thought that going against this natural order would make people unhappy. Following nature's rules means doing a few important things. First, it encourages us to think about ourselves and our place in the world. This helps us understand what we can control and what we can't, which helps us live more peacefully with what is inevitable. For example, we can accept that we can't control other people's actions or the outcome of many situations, but we can control how we react to them. Second, the Stoic principle teaches us to embrace simplicity and find satisfaction in it. This could mean lowering our wants to align more closely with what is naturally necessary and sufficient for happiness. It makes us think about whether our goals and wishes are in line with who we really are or whether they are made up by societal pressures. To live a more natural life, Start small and think about where you might be fighting the natural flow of your life or trying to make things happen. Get up with the sun and try to be more in tune with the flow of your surroundings. Eat in line with the seasons and pay more attention to your body's needs and the needs of those around you. This isn't about giving up ambition or desire. It's about making sure that those drives are in line with nature so that they come from real need and virtue instead of passing whims. Let's remember that living in harmony with nature means embracing a life of simplicity, virtue, and peace with the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. It means finding our unique and rightful place in it. As you go about your day, think about this Stoic wisdom and see how it might change how you see happiness and your place in the world. This is more than just a way to control your urges or stick to a routine. It means making sure that your daily actions are in line with your deeper values and virtues. Stoics think that self-discipline isn't just about getting what you want. It's also about living a life that fits with reason and moral purpose. Seneca talked a lot about how important self-discipline or self-control is to living a good life. He said that without it, we are slaves to our passions instead of masters of our own minds. Imagine the power and freedom that come from being in full control of your actions and decisions, no matter what temptations or immediate gratifications come your way. This is the heart of Stoic self-discipline. In practice, self-discipline means making choices that reflect your values, even if they aren't the easiest or most satisfying options. For example, choosing to save money instead of spending it on impulse aligns with a value of financial security and independence. Deciding to get up early to meditate or work out before a busy day shows that you care about your health and awareness, putting your long-term well-being ahead of extra sleep. The Stoics didn't see self-discipline as something that only affected the individual, but as something that helped society as a whole. By controlling our impulses and making smart decisions, we help make society more logical, calm, and considerate. Every choice we make affects those around us, whether we're aware of it or not. If you want to be more self-disciplined, start by figuring out what parts of your actions don't match your values. You might care about your health but don't work out very often, or you might want to learn but watch too much useless TV. Once you know which TV shows you watch, set small, doable goals to start changing your habits. You could read for 30 minutes before bed instead of scrolling through your phone, or you could cook a healthy meal instead of getting takeout. Stoic says that self-discipline is not about hurting yourself or living a lie. It's about making smart decisions that lead to real freedom and happiness. Being self-disciplined means taking charge of your actions and, by extension, the course of your life. Practicing self-discipline can help you feel better about yourself and your place in the world. Remember that according to the Stoics, self-discipline is a form of self-respect. When you live by your principles, you honor yourself and the community to which you belong. It's about making consistent choices that build a strong, fulfilling life for everyone. The Stoics taught that the present is all we truly own, and that mastering our focus on the present can lead to deep peace and effectiveness. Often, Marcus Aurelius talked about how important it was to focus on one thing at a time and enjoy the simplicity of his actions. Imagine if, instead of frantically switching between tasks, you chose to do each one in order with full dedication. This focus not only makes you more productive, but it also gives each moment quality and purpose. Living in the present also means accepting each moment as it comes without imposing our judgments or wishes on it. When we stop fighting reality, stop wishing things to be different, and start responding to the actual demands of the now, we engage with life on a more genuine level. This doesn't mean passivity or resignation. It means recognizing that the only time we can truly change is the present. First, pay attention to when your mind wanders to the past or the future. Then, kindly remind yourself to return to the present. Mindfulness meditation and other similar practices can really help you get better at this. You can stay more in the present moment if you just sit quietly for a few minutes every day and pay attention to your breath and thoughts as they come and go without judging them. Another useful tip is to give your full attention to whatever you're doing. For example, if you're eating, just eat. If you're walking, just walk. Fully connect with the feelings and activities of the present moment. This practice can turn boring jobs into moments of deep life experience and joy. By focusing on the present, you become more in line with Stoic ideas, which makes it easier to handle life with balance and poise over time. This habit not only makes you feel better mentally, but it also strengthens your relationships and gets you more involved in life, making every day more meaningful and full. Remember, life is made up of present times. How we live each moment decides how we live our lives. The idea of community is one of the deeper but more often overlooked parts of Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius himself thought that people were naturally social and weren't meant to live alone, but in peace with others. This idea supports the Stoic view that building or entering a community is not just a choice, but also a moral duty. Stoicism teaches that everyone has something valuable to offer the group, and in return, the group offers support, wisdom, and a view that one can't get when one is alone. Imagine how strong and resilient a network would be if everyone behaved with virtue and reason. In real life, such a group could have a much bigger positive effect on everyone's life. Being involved in a community can mean a lot of different things. It could be as easy as joining a local group of people who share your interests or volunteering for causes that are important to you. In today's digital world, community can also mean online forums and social media sites where people talk about Stoic principles and work through life problems together. Being a part of these communities lets people share their thoughts and gives them a support system that can be very helpful during hard times. It's about giving and receiving advice, sharing resources, or just listening with compassion. Every interaction is a chance to practice Stoic virtues like patience, understanding, and kindness. Also, being involved in community life increases our sense of belonging and purpose. It reinforces the Stoic idea that we are part of something bigger than ourselves, which can be very satisfying. This doesn't mean losing your individuality. Instead, it means expressing your unique virtues in ways that help others to start building this part of your Stoic practice. Find groups where the things you like are shared. Go to meetups in person or online. Whether you do community service or start a discussion group about Stoicism and how it applies to modern life, every action you take to become part of a community not only improves your own life, but also strengthens the fabric of society as a whole. By fostering community connections, you embody the Stoic commitment to live virtuously, not only for your own benefit, but for the good of all. As we wrap up our exploration of Stoicism and its powerful teachings, this integration of personal virtue with communal life may be one of the most rewarding parts of practicing Stoicism today. It's clear that the wisdom of the ancient Stoics isn't just historical trivia. It's profoundly applicable to our lives today. The practices we've discussed, from embracing the present moment to cultivating community, offer more than just a philosophy for individual tranquility. They propose a way of living that can fundamentally transform our interactions, our communities, and our own minds through the practice of Stoicism. We learn that true empowerment comes from within, from our ability to manage our perceptions, to align our actions with our values, and to connect deeply with the world around us. It's not just about Stoic endurance or indifference, it's about engaging with life's challenges with wisdom and virtue. Remember, Stoicism isn't practiced in the isolation of our minds, but in the everyday actions we take and the relationships we forge. Each small decision to live according to Stoic principles is a step towards a more reasoned, peaceful, and fulfilling life. It's about the ongoing journey, not a final destination, and every step, every breath, every moment lived with awareness and virtue contributes to a life well lived. So I encourage you to take these lessons to heart. Start small if you need to, perhaps by reflecting each evening on the day's events and how you responded to them, or by reaching out to participate in, or even create a community that reflects your values over time. These small actions will build into a life rich with purpose and serenity. Thank you for watching Stoic Journal. If you found these lessons helpful, please subscribe and share this video with someone else who might also benefit from them. Let's continue to learn, explore, and grow, creating a life that not only seeks personal peace, but also serves the greater good. Your participation and comments are what make this journey so rewarding, so please share your thoughts, experiences, and insights as we all try to live more virtuous Stoic lives.